Tim, welcome to the Digital Scene show here at Collision Conference.
Thanks, great to be here.
You're with...
I'm with Canon's Professional Markets Division, and we handle the video product, the camera product, the pro printer products, anything professional.
And today we're going to talk about the transition, because this whole conference really is about the collision or the transition from like a big camera like you have behind you to sort of a smaller...
Correct.
With great features.
You know, honestly, I think I've been through transitions before. This isn't a transition, this is really a revolution. To get from this kind of a camera, which is more of a traditional camera, into something like this, and shooting video that's ending up on huge screens is hard to believe. I mean, this whole thing started about November of last year or so, and people would come up and say, what did you shoot that with? And you'd show them this, and they wouldn't believe you. And that was the fun part of it. Now they know about it, and that kind of fun little exposure's over with now. It's, okay, now that I see it, what can I do with it? And it's astounding.
So this is the 5D?
This is the 5D Mark II, second version of it. The original 5D didn't shoot video.
Okay.
This is the 5D Mark II, full frame sensor, video camera, still camera, 21 megapixel stills, high definition 1920 1080 video.
And two of the features that I think make it a great video camera is obviously the lens, right?
The choice of lenses.
Oh, the choice of lenses, right?
Sure.
And number two is the full frame?
Full frame, yeah. That's interchangeability of lenses. There's over 100 different lenses you can choose from, and the actual chip itself, which is a huge chip.
Sure.
Full frame, 35 millimeter chip. I mean, in this industry, there's several full frame cameras, but they're all $180,000, $200,000, $250,000, or even the Red, which is a very high-end 4K camera, but this chip is actually 2.5 times larger than the Red chip. So that's kind of an astounding thing to say at $2,600.
Definitely. Now, where do you encode the video to? What's the codec that it uses?
It's a QuickTime, H.264.
So it's H.264,
so everything is wrapped in QuickTime.
What's the data rate, do you know?
It's a variable bit rate. Bottom end is 30. Haven't seen the top end yet.
Oh, bottom end is 30. So we're still looking at a good compression.
30. I've seen it go 30. In files, I've seen it go 30 up to 4850. Not sure what the top end is, to be honest.
Sure. Now, well, let's talk about sound, right? Because like you said, you got caught by surprise. And when you're talking about sound in professional videography, you're talking about XLR. You guys don't have XLR. Right. Do you see any changes in the sound, the ability? What do you record at? 10-bit, 12-bit, 16-bit?
It's 12-bit. 12-bit audio. The limitations on sound of this are there's no record levels. It's auto gain only with a very small microphone.
Sure.
There is an aftermarket product called a Beach Tech, which is developed specifically for this, which will actually feed a white noise signal to fool our auto levels and give the ability to set audio.
Got it.
That was, again, a little bit of being caught by surprise. We won't necessarily get caught that way again.
Right.
But it's a learning curve for us.
So today, do you see this being used more for like interviews, like you said, or covering, or B-roll, right? Not to shoot a full movie.
It's a fantastic. Well, you know, I say that at all these seminars, and at the end of the seminar, somebody hands me a DVD of the feature they shot with it.
Well, they can record audio with a digital DAT, right?
Right. Typically, in a film environment, they're not going to use on-camera sound anyway.
Right.
And we're doing very well with music videos where it's MOS.
Right.
We're doing, second sound anytime that's an issue. Everybody still uses it as a scratch track, as a reference track, or they're loading sound in. You could use it here in this environment. You could mic me. We could use the Beach Tech adapter and get away with it.
Sure.
But yeah, I'd like to make improvements in sound. No question.
Definitely. And the workflow, you may not know the answer, and that's okay. Feel free to say you don't. But the workflow from ingestion, let's say, to Final Cut Pro, is this a copy and paste kind of where you drag it to your desktop? Do you still need to ingest it?
To transcode.
So you need to transcode. So like to ProRes.
My recommendation. 422 HQ.
Okay.
It's been working pretty well for us. That's what I've been doing since day one. Theoretically, it is QuickTime, and Apple will see QuickTime, but it'll just chug. The files are so compressed. ProRes, much easier in the timeline. It's a 6:1 file size though, so you're increasing your hard drive space. Think of a 6:1 ratio, and maybe a 2.5 to 3 times real-time transcode.
So the workflow itself is the same process like a P2 card or an S/S card for Sony. I mean, it's right. You just had
to be established. We had to kind of figure out what the best way to go was.
Right now, I think Final Cut Pro 7 will read it natively, or am I mistaken?
Well, Final Cut will still read it natively, but it just chugs it up. So I want it in something that Final Cut can see.
Definitely.
We have some people dedicated at our office in California working with Apple.
Okay.
So things will get smoother.
Sure.
We've had transitions before. Those are the things you do in transitions, but in revolutions you get caught you get caught a little bit behind.
And is a big revolution happening.
You know
here.
what? It's a good thing to happen. I
Yeah,
mean, we
definitely.
can't build them fast enough, so no complaints with this revolution.
Good.
So.
Now, Tim, we're out of time. If people want to find out more information about the product, where do
Sure,
you? Where
easy enough.
can
I
they
think the best. I mean, there's websites all over the internet.
Sure.
Our website is canonusa.com. You can click on the 5D and get all the specifications. There's some other great sites out there like Planet 5D and dvinfo.org, and there's a lot of great sites. Just Google 5D, you'll find 1,000 places to go.
Fantastic. Good to meet you, and thanks for being in the digital scene.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.